Hi, I'm Amy Rose White, integrative psychotherapist. I wanted to talk today briefly about the impact that Trump's assassination attempt has on us as a collective and how to safeguard our mental health during this time. Regardless of where you fall politically, any threat on someone's life, a potential impending danger, it activates the limbic brain of all of us, no matter how you feel about former President Trump. And what I invite you to do is to be really mindful of how on edge many of us in the United States and probably abroad have been since this occurred. I don't personally think I've worked with a regulated nervous system since COVID. I don't think we've rebounded as a society. I don't think we've recovered. I don't think we're back to normal. I think we are actively looking for danger because of these wars, because of the deficit, because of inflation, because of fears about other pandemics or even COVID that still exists for many people. And then the word and event and imagery around assassination is absolutely terrifying. If you're not impacted by this event, someone you care about probably is. And so I'm going to list a few things that I think we ought to be really mindful of in the coming days and weeks as this event is better understood and as we just have more time to process what has happened. And again, this is not a political discussion. This is about understanding what happens in our nervous system when someone very well known and to many people dear and beloved is almost killed. He's also hated and vilified by people, and that brings out a whole nother set of reactions. Wherever you are there, for me, it's personally, I have tremendous amount of heartbreak and compassion and sadness for the state of our nation, the state of division between parties, and the haves and have-nots, and the growing disparity between the rich and the poor. Like, all of that is incredibly difficult for me personally. So when I see people wishing ill on anyone, I feel a tremendous amount of sadness and grief. And so part of what I'm going to talk about is how to just cope with and notice what your personal reaction is to all of this. And if it's none, you can share this with someone else or you can turn this off. And I'm happy for you. But I was around people this weekend that have been very significantly impacted by this event. The first thing that I would just like you to think about when it comes to safeguarding your mental health after this assassination attempt is to simply, again, notice your body. Notice what's happening. Notice if you're mindlessly eating and you have this big tension in your jaw, like I happen to have right now. Take a second to drop in and notice. Are you breathing deeply? Are you breathing fully? Have you been tapping your foot all day at work? Are you snapping at your kids? Did you start a fight with your partner? Are you driving really fast? What is, when you go get the gas, what's happening in your body? Notice that and bring non-judgmental awareness to those sensations. Simply say, I see you. I'm with you. Tension in my chest. I see you. I notice you. I'm with you. Then become aware of any emotions. Now, there's a lot of call right now for an end to divisiveness and rhetoric and blaming and shaming. I have a different perspective. My perspective is you do you. And what I mean by that is just notice what emotions are naturally arising. Are you suddenly scared? I know some people that are worried that this will lead to an outbreak of civil war or something worse. I know people that are just incredibly angry at what they perceive as a failure of government or perhaps even something more nefarious. Whatever your personal initial impressions of this event are, I invite you to notice, is it anger? Is it fear? Is it numbness? If there's righteous anger, if there is fear that to you makes sense because it's related to a possible outcome, I simply want you to acknowledge it. And just like the body, I see you, I feel you, and I love you. I encourage you to love on your righteous anger for wrongs that you feel have transpired. To me, it's pretty obvious that no one should have their life threatened, regardless of their political perspectives. That's my stance. I believe all lives are precious and sacred. Perhaps you are terrified. Perhaps you are noticing that you have thoughts of vindictiveness that you don't like. Perhaps there's a part of your character that's coming out and you're fantasizing about something that you probably wouldn't say out loud. I just want you to notice that. I want you to acknowledge that. And I see you, I feel you, and I love you to that part. Just taking a few moments of time to do this is really, really imperative so that we don't go to a default of snapping, like I said, and yelling or just being not ourselves or getting disconnected from our body, and then maybe coping in other ways that don't serve us at all. And that's what happens when really historic events take place. And we're always in the midst of the unfolding of those, whether you're particularly personally affected by the war in Gaza and with Israel, or Russia and Ukraine, or what's happening in Yemen, anywhere in the world there's conflict that we don't necessarily even find out about in mainstream news. Whatever is happening for you, it deserves a space to be oriented and acknowledged. And then I would say, do something. Do something with that righteous anger. Do something with that fear. Make some kind of plan. Write a letter, call a politician, talk to a friend, write an article that's on Substack, make a YouTube video. That's what I'm doing. Actually find a behavior that allows you to do something. Go volunteer an extra couple hours in your local food pantry. Those are things in my local community that I like to do when I feel particularly powerless about external, large global events. Take some kind of action that allows you to feel powerful in your circle of influence, this small day-to-day community that you interact with. Do something. Maybe it's you're going to spend extra time with one of your children. Make a choice to engage in some kind of behavior that gives you some kind of sense of control. And then remember that we can feel our emotions and take action without fueling hatred of the other. If anyone wants you to hate someone for choices or beliefs they have or make, you are being manipulated. If you want to be controlled and manipulated, allow what someone tells you to infuse your body as the truth. I don't find that supports anyone's mental health. We can have our emotional reality and we can take action in ways that are in integrity with our own value system, whatever that is, while we step away from feeling hatred. Hatred is what makes us blind. It's what makes us unable to be curious and understand where someone else is coming from. And I guarantee you the solution out of all this mess is to have compassion and understand where we are coming from. And then that opens the possibility that we might say, these are other human beings that are making decisions based on needs they have that I can't understand and know, based on histories they have that I cannot understand and know. And I'm going to focus back on me. I'm going to pull the attention back on me, my life, my inner circle, influence what I can, and love myself in the place that I find myself without judgment. I'm going to sleep well. I'm going to eat well. I'm going to drink all my water. And I'm going to limit social media and the news. That's my final and most important piece of advice. I hope this is helpful. Please let me know how this event has impacted you, what else you'd like me to talk about regarding this, if there is anything else. And thank you so much for sharing it, for liking. And when you subscribe, it gives me motivation to keep making these videos. Thank you so much. And until next time, may you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. And may you be at peace. May all beings be at peace. Bye for now.